ChatGPT can help you make a lot of money. This is not clickbait. I really want to give you tangible step-by-step instructions on ways that you can use this tool to grow your business verticals. I own a 5-figure branding agency. I make 6 figures yearly in content creation alone. I don't say this to brag, but I say it to reiterate that I am someone that you can trust when it comes to this advice. So let's get into it. I'm Pallen, a brand strategist. Welcome to my channel where I promise practical advice to build your brand. Today we're talking all about growing your business with ChatGPT as your right-hand assistant. The advice that I will share in this video will be based on my personal experience, my career in branding, digital marketing, and content creation. Those are my worlds, so let's get into it. Now, before that, disclaimer right at the top of this video, while ChatGPT can be a powerful tool, you'll see many examples of it in action today. Remember that it is on you and only you to ensure that the content it generates is accurate, ethical, aligned with your audience's needs. I'm quoting from ChatGPT directly. They're warning you about that, so listen to them, please. Always review and edit the output to ensure it meets your quality standards and adheres to the legal or ethical guidelines. Okay, now we got that out of the way, let's get started on the first way that you can use ChatGPT to make money. You can absolutely use ChatGPT to generate high quality content for your blog, your website, social media channels. What you're looking at right now is a blog post that I wrote with a lot of help from ChatGPT. We'll actually work backwards in this video, so I'll show you exactly how I used it. But by the way, if this is a blog post you want to check out, I'm linking to it in the description. I go through the 5 different types of a ChatGPT prompt. So prompt type, so open-ended, fill in the blank, you get the idea. You can check this blog post out, but let me show you how I use ChatGPT to write it. I'm a big fan of tools that can help you use ChatGPT effectively without having to learn or become a prompt engineer. We don't have time for that, but certainly there are tools that make using this platform even easier. And the one that I just showed on screen, I'll link to in the description below. This one is Keywords Everywhere. They have a ChatGPT prompt tool. Here it is. It acts like an overlay. Okay, so it's this little K with a circle around it. Once you've installed this Chrome plugin, it'll display this overlay. So here we can choose a category. We're talking about content here. So let's actually choose copywriting, and I'm going to show you how you can write a blog writing. And then from here, you've got lots of options. Generate blog titles, descriptions, outlines. You can complete a blog post from an outline. I think that's what we'll do in this case. No, actually we'll generate a complete blog post from a topic. That's going to serve as the best example here. Once we're happy with the language, the voice tone, as well as the writing style, I'll leave them set to default. 20 headings seems like a lot, so I'm going to shorten this to maybe 7. Now let's enter the topic that we want to write on. 25 ChatGPT prompt ideas for small business owners. There we go. What this tool does is it creates a very detailed prompt for you. So things like, please ignore all previous instructions. That's a good inclusion for a prompt. It's going to tell ChatGPT, you are an expert copywriter who writes detailed and thoughtful blog articles. It goes on, and you can read this prompt here, with specificity in detail. And we know the better the prompt in ChatGPT, the better the result. Obviously here we can make any edits to that prompt. I'm not going to. For this example, I'm quite happy with what it wrote, so we'll click Execute Template. Essentially, it enters that prompt for you. Here we see it creating an outline first, and now it will write the post. So as this generates, I think you get the idea. Certainly content creation, online copywriting, these are skills that business owners need. Busy working professionals like myself are always in the market for hired help when it comes to content creation. And have a look, ChatGPT does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. I will say I've already noticed a few words that I would definitely want to change. You may need to modify the prompt or provide additional clarification, but this is certainly going to help you start with something instead of starting with nothing. Think blog articles, product descriptions, really anything that is quality content. This can help business owners attract more visitors, lead to increased ad revenue, or business opportunities. Now, somewhat related to content creation, but also advertising, marketing campaigns, sales materials, that's copywriting. ChatGPT can be really awesome for copywriting, and I'm going to give you a few different styles of examples. The first, and maybe the simplest way, is to actually start with an open-ended prompt, something like, how can I improve my writing style to make it more engaging and unique? In this particular example, it's going to give you more open-ended feedback. general tips that you should follow as you explore copywriting, say for a client. These are good reminders, although the results are not quite as tangible as I'd like. So I tend to prefer, for copywriting at least, to actually provide copy that it can improve. So let's talk about that. I'll hop over to my website where I have a series of courses for sale, currently revamping this one so people can't buy it right now, but certainly once it's available again, they can. And let's say I'm in the process of updating the copy on this page, so I'm gonna highlight this chunk of text, hop back over to ChatGPT, and we're gonna be ready to paste that copy to see if ChatGPT can actually improve it. As a copywriter, you might be familiar with different writing styles or structures, such as IDA. That's a popular one. It stands for attention, interest, desire, action. So grabbing their attention, piquing their interest, speaking to their desire, and then providing a very clear call to action. Let's say we want to rewrite the copy that I just highlighted with that specific structure. We could write a prompt, something like, rewrite this text using the IDA copywriting formula, and then you paste the text. This is looking awesome. It's rewritten this text in this style. What about another writing style? We could do rewrite this text using PAS, which stands for Problem Agitation Solution. That's a very, very common writing style. Again, I will paste the text that I want it to rewrite here. Now let's see the results. I like what I see so far. This is PAS, and I think it's done a really decent job of interpreting the text that I pasted and structuring it accordingly. Let me give you just a few more prompt ideas. I won't actually type them in, but just as you're thinking about using ChatGPT for copywriting, you could also try a prompt like this. Make this text more persuasive. You could also do something like, simplify this text. Paste there and see what happens. Just a few ideas with specific prompt ideas that will hopefully give you some ideas on how to use ChatGPT for copywriting. A big part of my business is coaching, consulting, in all different formats. I think ChatGPT can also help with these types of responsibilities. I really like ChatGPT for coming up with some custom education material, lesson plans, even resources for coaching calls, let's say. As a brand strategist, I often get asked about, let's say, for example, content ideas. I'm working with, for this example, we'll choose an interior designer. I have real estate combined with that category on my website. I've worked with a lot of different interior designers, and they might ask me on a client call, Phil, what should I be posting on social media? So let's hop back over to ChatGPT, start a new chat, and use one of my favorite prompt structures, which is act as if you're a brand strategist. Act as if you're a brand strategist. Create 5 topics for social media posts for an interior designer. And there we have it. It's already off to the races, giving me 5 different ideas for social media posts. How awesome is it for me to have this done ahead of time before the client actually meets with me? These are pretty awesome. Before and after transformations always go well on social media. Design tip of the week, that could be a series that they start. Spotlighting on trend styles. You get the idea. The point is, ChatGPT is almost like an assistant, an additional resource for your consulting or coaching projects. What about coming up with product or business ideas? I think ChatGPT is especially helpful with this task. Think of it as a great research tool. I've used it for my clients in this way, and right now let's use it for me. I am a brand strategist, a content creator, and a keynote speaker, currently pivoting from talking about content related to branding and social media all the time to now incorporating a lot more about AI. So let's see if ChatGPT can come up with some business ideas for me, new ventures. There we go. I left it a little open-ended, not specifying the number that I want. Let's just see what it gives us. Here we go, AI-driven market research tools. I could create a tool that allows businesses to gather data. Content generation and curation, that's a little more aligned with what I would want to do. Automated blogs, social media posts, newsletters. Chatbot solutions, I don't know much about that. Automated SEO tools, dynamic pricing models. So actually my prompt was not great for this. Here we go, this is more my speed. AI course or training platform. That's definitely something I'm working on. Again, my prompt could have been better here. I could have specified a number. I could have given some examples of the existing products and services that I sell now. Remember, if the result you get on ChatGPT isn't great, it's because the prompt could probably be better. And this is an example of that. But certainly ChatGPT is awesome for brainstorming products and business ideas. The next 3 ways involve writing, so I'm going to group these together accordingly. And let's move quickly since we've already talked about writing, but I want to give you a few other examples. ChatGPT can certainly help with proofreading or even ghostwriting. Let's try this. Expand these bullet points into a well-written paragraph. And I know where I've got some bullet points on my Instagram profile. Let's use those and see what it comes up with. Decent. We get a little paragraph from 3 bullet points that I gave it for context. I could easily copy and paste this paragraph here and also ask it to proofread it or check for grammar errors. That's straightforward, so I won't actually do it. Let's keep going. What about this? Suggest reliable sources to back up the claims in this text. And then you would paste your text here. But I'll just quickly type something like, AI is going to have a positive impact on society. We always hear about the negatives, but I'm interested to hear if there's actually research that backs the positives. Excellent, so it's giving me academic journals, research institutions, reports, books, even citing specific authors that have written how AI could positively affect society. This is giving me some really good starting points of where I can look to get more information on this. So that's number 5, different writing tasks. Let's move on to number 6. That is translation. So if we scroll back up here, let's take this paragraph that ChatGPT wrote for me and let's translate it into another language. The prompt would be, translate this text into language. In this case, I wrote Spanish. Now, remember, ChatGPT probably doesn't replace a human who speaks Spanish as first language. But again, as a starting point, this is pretty awesome. Very quick and likely cheaper than having to hire a translator. That's an example of how it can translate any text that you provide it. Let's move on to our 7th example, which is technical writing. Technical writing refers to, for example, writing a manual for a product, how-to instructions, or a guide. For these, I really like using the act as structure for prompts. Something like this: act as a role, performing a task, using this guidance. So let's fill in the variables. Act as a gardener, performing a task. So in this case, it would be planting sunflower seeds. And I can get rid of this last part. Let's see what happens. And here we have it, step by step, exactly what it's gonna do as a gardener planting sunflower seeds. With specificity, a sunny spot in the garden. I dig small holes 1 inch deep, 6 inches apart. Water the area lightly. You get the idea. So with technical writing, you really wanna get specific and detailed in terms of a process. And ChatGPT is absolutely amazing for this. Technical writing. Now let's talk about a huge pillar of my business, which is social media strategy. I've got courses, group coaching programs, even free advice on platforms like YouTube, this one, as well as Instagram and others. ChatGPT can be your best friend when it comes to social media tasks. I will show you. I'm often finding myself needing to, for example, write a script like for this YouTube video that you're watching. Let me show you how ChatGPT can be really helpful for something like this. Here's the prompt I'll use. Can you write a super engaging YouTube video script on, then insert the topic. Let's say for this case, let's write a script on LinkedIn. Here we go, this is looking awesome. Broken down by introduction, it even gives us some B-roll ideas here, which I love. Breaks the host script down, gives us lots of ideas here actually. I'm sure I would make my own little changes to make it in my style. I'm gonna stop generating for now, you get the idea. So that's an example of YouTube, which is obviously something I create often. What if I wanted to use it to write a short blog post on exactly the same topic? Here's the prompt. Can you write a 500-word blog post on topic? But to make this better, let's actually mention the benefits. That way you're not leaving it up to ChatGPT to decide all of the content. That's better. We can then ask it to turn this into an engaging YouTube video script. Let's see how it goes. So it'll start with a 500-word blog post. And see, it's not just deciding random bits of information, it's actually basing it on the information that I fed it as a bullet point. As well, the about section, so I'm really happy with what it's generating here. Since I specify only 500 words, these paragraphs are nice and short. And now, the YouTube video script in the same prompt. I think you get the idea. This is looking great. I'll click stop generating for now, but that's an example of how you can get multiple social media posts from one single prompt. Right in line with your content marketing and social media strategy, what about using it to create ebooks? I've made many of those over the years before ChatGPT was even launched, and I would have loved having this tool around when I was making those. Here's how you can use it for this. I have a lot of freebies on my website, and my most downloaded one is this one, 100 evergreen content ideas to post. This has been downloaded over 25,000 times. I'll tell you what, I did not have ChatGPT back in the day when I created this, so we did those manually. Man, it would have been so much nicer to have this as a tool to get that started. The prompt I might use for something like this would be, act as if you're a brand strategist. Help me create 100 evergreen content ideas for an ebook that people can download. List each evergreen content idea separately. Let's see how it goes. There we have it, 100 evergreen content ideas, a little bit different than what is in my ebook, but still really good ideas as a starting point for a post. People could scan through here and see what resonates with them and use that to create a social media post. Simple. Okay, we've arrived at our last way. This one is more creative. In the way that you saw ChatGPT really do a great job of creating a YouTube script and then following that structure, it can do the same thing for entertainment and creative type projects. That is our final and 10th example. Use it to develop storylines, maybe for a video game, interactive storytelling projects, script writing for videos or films. Let's do this prompt. Act as if you're a script writer. Develop storylines for a real-life action thriller. Probably not the best prompt in the world, but let's see what it does. I mostly just want to show you how it structures it based on what you're asking for, and that's what impresses me the most. Here it's giving us a tagline, a log line, breaking it into acts. That is awesome. Character introductions, and really following the protocol that people would be familiar with in this particular creative industry. I'll click stop generating because instead of watching me generate these, now it's time for you to go and try it yourself, and I can't wait to hear how that goes. There you go, 10 ways to use ChatGPT for generating revenue in your business, making money. I hope you found this video helpful. If you've enjoyed it, give it a like. That helps other people discover these videos, which we work hard to create for you. And subscribe for more of my videos on branding, positioning, building, and promoting your brand. Next, I'm sharing a few videos I think you'll be interested in. I'm Pallen. Thanks for watching. Those are coming up next.